So today I want to talk about the other build that I mentioned in my previous video, which is only accessible to content creators or people who have already had an account with MetalStorm previously. So if you didn't have a MetalStorm account, let's say you're a content creator that got on board, you never played this game before, you were invited, and then you wanted to try it out, the build that they had, which was with everything unlocked, you had to make an account for that essentially. And it was like a temporary account. Whereas this build is more like the update we're going to see go live on June 2nd, where it pulls all the data from the account you currently have. So as you can see, the name is changed in the top left. This is my actual MetalStorm account with all of the stuff that I have. And of course, not everything is unlocked. You can see that there's all these little exclamation points indicating that something is different because obviously everything has changed. And a lot of the aircraft I have are level 16. I have some level 20s. And what I'm going to do is kind of just show you very briefly, before I get into any more gameplay, any more details, the prices, and these are all subject to change, right? But this is just kind of showing you what the upgrade screen will look like when you haven't actually maxed everything out. So you can see these have been purchased. By default, the aircraft at level 20 goes through a conversion process. And that conversion process is trying to make it as equal to the current build that your level 20 has. And to demonstrate this, I will use the most sophisticated software currently available to normal people. So here we are in Microsoft Paint. And what I'm going to quickly do is demonstrate the difference and what you can expect to see when you convert your current aircraft in the game to 2.0. All right, so this is going to represent the base game. This is going to represent upgrades 2.0. Now, the way the game currently works in the base game, right, you have a linear progression. A linear progression, right, it's linear. That goes all the way from level 1 to level 20, and you're getting stat increases with damage and whatever arbitrary number along the way, and then you're getting your slots as well, right, all the way to 20. The same thing happens in Upgrades 2.0, right? You have your base aircraft unlocks, the exact same thing, but instead, it's going to be a percentage of health that increases, and then eventually you also unlock your ability slots and your upgrade ability. So you'll have, like at level 4, you unlock the ability to have the fuselage parts, kind of like I was saying in the last video. And then in the middle, also part of Upgrades 2.0, is the ability to have a branching system. This is the individual parts you're going to be upgrading. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 levels, and then it branches into 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this side is referenced as A, this side is referenced as B. Okay, and the key thing to notice here is that when you have a level 20 aircraft over here on the base, and you're going to convert it to the new upgrade 2.0, right? Where it's going to land is somewhere here on on A6, level 6 right here. So a lot of your parts, you'll like have basically some of these will already be unlocked. All of this will be unlocked. And A6, some of the parts. Okay, the reason why is because this here with the stats that it provides is the closest equivalent to what your level 20 aircraft is currently right now. So then you can choose to spec into the B side if you want. If you want like maneuverability, like if this is the fuselage, you would go into this side here to get maneuverability and sacrifice hit points. But currently this here is the closest equivalent to the current level 20 aircraft in the base game. All right. So there's a higher power ceiling because now you have these 2 extra slots here that boost the stats and the performance of your aircraft beyond what is currently available in the base game. So that's a very important thing and to understand. Now, when it comes to like other aspects, like a level 16 converting a level 8, I can't give you this very specifics, but it's more or less going to follow the exact same philosophy as this. Editing PepperBelly here. One thing I want to actually bring up very quickly is something that was newly released by the Starform team, which is actually the ability to go online onto their website and follow the upgrade paths on there customizing every single aircraft available in the game with little tooltips showing you all the different statistics. This is actually really cool because it also shows you as you go through your aircraft levels where and when you will unlock certain points of all the upgrade paths that are available afterwards, which I think is a very cool tool because it allows you to kind of get the idea of how you want to spec your aircraft long before you maybe unlock it or before you get a chance to actually like upgrade it with maybe you have some advanced parts and you want to carefully spend it on the right upgrades and mods that you want. This will allow you to kind of get a general picture of your aircraft, and it's a really cool tool because you don't even really need to have the game. You can actually play around with it right now. I will link it in the description if you want to check it out. So jumping back in here, you can see that there's prices associated with this. They all require different parts, right? So if you're using the fuselage, you're going to need fuselage parts like this, right? You can see it here. You can see the advanced parts. The advanced parts are only applicable once you get to level 5. So everything before that, which I don't really have a plane to show, maybe I do. I have to find like a lower level plane, maybe something like, okay, the Typhoon here, which I don't think I've touched. Okay, maybe I'm not going to be able to show it to you. But essentially 1 through 4 doesn't require any advanced parts. Once you get to like 5 to 8, you're going to need to use advanced parts. And how you acquire these things is going to be through like flight pass and crates and stuff like that. Now, obviously you saw the prices there of how much it costs to do every individual upgrade. And I know they've reiterated this. They've hounded this on us many, many times. They want you to know that all of this is subject to change. So the general idea behind you're going to go through this upgrade, you're going to have a higher power ceiling across the board with all of the aircraft. And it's going to allow you to really pick and choose how you want your aircraft to perform, but you have to be mindful of it because I'm not entirely sure exactly how the grind for advanced parts when it comes to these, speccing into these levels, will be easily accessible and attainable because just me, right now they had like an event. It's not there anymore. If I go back to the main menu, it's gone. Right? But there was an event here, which was acting like a login event. So every 4 hours you logged in, you would get parts, and advanced parts was part of it. You get 7 of them. And even just doing that like 2 or 3 times, I was finding myself pretty restricted in what I could unlock currently with my aircraft. And right now you can see I have 7 advanced parts. So if I wanted to like, I don't know, max one of these out, let's say I want more damage again, I can do this, confirm, boom, you get a nice little animation. And then it finally unlocks the last one, and I want damage again, so I'll do the same thing. And you can see my advanced parts are already counting down. So to max out everything currently is going to be a little bit difficult from the jump. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to play out in the grand scheme of things. Obviously, like I said a million times, it's all subject to change. We don't know what the final prices will look like. We don't even know what the final statistics will look like because all of these metrics can change based on balancing and internal testing because they allowed content creators to do playtests publicly, right, once they lifted the embargo and we were able to talk about it. But they're also doing internal playtesting. So there's a lot of things they may see that they're not particularly happy with and may make alterations along with the feedback that we have provided. So it's all subject to change, but what I can say that I'm not going to say I'm certain of, but I'm pretty sure of, is that the overall cost of upgrading your aircraft now is actually going to be lower than it was previously, and the earning rate for everything you need to upgrade them should be higher. So it should theoretically make it a little bit easier and faster, even for those who are free players, to advance quickly, more quickly than they were in the past. Because I got to admit, the grind is real. Okay, like I've been playing this game for what I want to say 5 years. It was a very long time. And it took me like 2 to 3 years, if I can even remember correctly, to get an F-22, to like get to the 5th gen fighters. It was a very, very long grind. And about, I would say maybe 2 years into it, I started paying for flight passes because of how long it took. I was like, man, if I go like this for free, it's going to take me forever to get down to hangar level 2 and unlock all these aircraft. So I started paying for Flight Pass, which is like the only game I ever decided to put money into in this capacity. So something to keep in mind though, if you're a free player, it's going to take you longer, but it should be a little bit easier and a little bit better compared to how it was in the past. So without further ado, I guess we'll jump into some gameplay and explore some other examples, like the J20, that I want to show off in terms of speed, and also the turn rate improvements to missiles like high off-bore sight capability. So here we are playing priority target on Crimson Canyon using the J20, and I'm going to demonstrate just how much faster you can get this aircraft compared to the base game. I mean, I'm going vertical practically, and I'm already up to 2,000 kilometers an hour, which is like the maximum speed you might be able to attain on the way down. Let's see if I can reel it in. And now I'm going to boost away. Look at that. Just go vertical. Maintaining the speed the whole time. And then right away I want to just dive right back down on top of it when it spawns in. Like, the fact that you can get this aircraft up to 3,000 kilometers an hour like this, I don't even think I'm going to beat this guy. There, just happened to nab it. Oh boy. Go back vertical, put some distance, and just be really annoying. I mean, I got no missiles left. Should probably get some ammo at some point. But like, 3,000 kilometers an hour. That's like unheard of almost. Like, I don't think it was ever possible in the base game to hit these speeds. Like, hitting 2,000 was probably like my maximum speed that I could attain whenever I was diving with the mod I have, which is the thrust booster mod. Like, this is ridiculous. I don't even need to fight anybody. And go right back down for it. Oh my god, I missed it. I can't believe that. Alright, well, this is a good opportunity to reload and get back up into the sky. Maybe sling some missiles. So I also spec this to have absolutely ridiculous range. So the missiles have like a 13.7 kilometer range. Okay, he's done. And my heat seekers actually have a much better range as well. Of 3.5 kilometers versus the base, which was like 2.8 in the base game, I think. So it actually makes it a little bit better to engage some targets. Oh, is it gonna smoke that guy? There you go. So it makes the J20 like an aircraft that's already super evasive with its speed even more evasive. Like, I'm hitting 2K going vertical. Like, I can't get over that. It's ridiculous. Just sling these missiles at this guy. Oh man, I'm not gonna be able to kill him, am I? Nice. And win the match. So that's just an example for the J20, like, just how insanely fast you can go now. Over 3,000 kilometers an hour when you're diving. Like, it's crazy. Like, those were speeds that were unattainable before. So it makes interceptors a little bit more viable, especially when you're at cruising altitude, because you can go really fast. You won't even need to flare half the time because you're going fast enough at cruising altitude to just completely evade them, which you could already do in the base game. It's going to be much easier to attain that now. Anyways, on to the next aircraft. So here we are in the J10 Firebird. If you guys remember from a video I put out a long time ago when this was a black market aircraft, one of the biggest issues it had was staying above its ideal turn speed because it just bled energy so quickly. And now with the upgrades I put on it, which make me squishy, but with the upgrades I put on it, it's a much more maneuverable aircraft, and I tend to stay above corner speed a lot more, especially when I have ideal maneuvering and everything else switched on, like the thrust booster mod as well. And I kitted it out so that it has much more maneuverability with its missiles. So the high off bore sight, which is what I want to make more maneuverable, so that when I'm kind of in a two-circle turn like this, my missiles will tend to arc, if it doesn't pop flares, much better onto the target. Gonna just dive out of here because I have very low HP. I'm definitely a little bit more scared in this aircraft, that's for sure. With such a low base health, you definitely get a little bit wary of aircraft like that. I did increase my cannon damage to max, so I'm sacrificing aim assist for that as well. Oh boy. Okay, just diving out of here again. This guy's coming up over here. J17. Oh, that was close. Oh, and he got me. Can't survive every match. It's like, who do I shoot at? There we go. Where's that Draken? I want my revenge. There we go. But like, this is nuts. Like, the energy retention on this aircraft now is actually something... Shit. That, I popped my flares a little too soon on that one. That was a useless missile. Alright. Gonna go back with this MiG-19 now. There we go. And I got my ace. So yeah, you're definitely more squishy now because you have far less overall HP. But the fact that the missiles like turn better, they don't do as much damage. I have to sacrifice some damage so that they'd have much more agility. So that the high off-bore sight capability of this aircraft now, you're far less likely to miss. Shots that you think you would not be able to hit, sometimes you will hit because the missile just arcs around in this beautiful trajectory right on target because you're increasing its turn rate capability, slowing its acceleration down so it won't overshoot the target as well if it's too close to you, because having high acceleration with the missile right out of the gate, sometimes it'll blow past the target, it won't turn quick enough. So slowing the missile down, having a higher turn rate, less damage output, faster lock time, that kind of thing makes the high off-bore sight capability of the J10 Firebird a lot more interesting and fun, but at the cost of obviously being much more squishy. You die far faster, especially if someone comes at you with like upgraded cannons. You're gonna melt and disintegrate and die very quickly. So that's just another example of some of the upgrades you can do to aircraft that were previously suffering in some aspects, but now can perform much better. And like I said, I'm here for it. Every aircraft that I've tried has notable changes in their performance whenever you do these upgrades. So it's a really cool update. I cannot wait for it to go live on June 2nd so that everyone can play around with it and experiment themselves. Go check out the website, play with some of the builds that you want, and I guess I'll see you guys in the skies on the next one.